dudettes. My hair might be a little bit off, but let's get this video going. So to start off, we have USC beating Utah in an upset. Utah was ranked number 10 in the country, and USC beat them by a score, which is great. Obviously, I'm happy. Keeps Coach Helton there at least for the next couple weeks, even though these next couple weeks are going to be pretty crazy, while going to Washington, who's ranked 17th in the country, and then having a bye week, and then going to Notre Dame also and playing a most likely top 10 team in the country once again. Tough stretch. We'll see what they can do. Get at least hopefully another win. Doesn't matter against who, just need one more win. Then yes, you might have saw my video right before this that Bryce Young, once USC commit from Mater Dei out in California, had flipped over to Alabama, which really sucked because, like I mentioned before, he's going to be playing against us most likely next year, which hurts even more. But luckily, a few days later, a quarterback in the 2021 class, so not coming next season but the following season, a 5-star guy in Jake Garcia from Narburn High School, which is somewhere in Southern California. He's a 5-star guy. I've seen a couple of his tapes. He is pretty much a pure pocket passer, even though how athletic you see he is. But because of that passing, the only thing I have reasons of why he's a 5-star guy, he does throw quite a bit of picks, especially in big games. But hopefully he can get that figured out for this junior season and his senior season coming up. So hopefully he'll actually stay too in high school, so there's no more QB controversy at USC once these guys are trying to figure out who the heck is the starting quarterback there. But yes, I'm kind of glad they rebounded with that, but I still don't think that's going to help Coach Helton keep his job by getting one player like that 2 years from now instead of coming in next year. But he had getting a lot of guys, a lot of recruits in that class or the class coming next year talking, wondering why he's made that decision. So maybe it is a good thing. We'll see. Hopefully he can bring that juice that at least Bryce Young was trying to bring while he was being recruited at USC. Then Melvin Gordon finally is ending his holdout. He is right now reporting to the Chargers. He's missed quite a bit of money. I'll get into that later. But yeah, it doesn't look like he's going to play this weekend because just health-wise, not 100% been playing NFL football recently. So I don't expect him to play. There is like a 5% chance that he might. I'll mention an injury of why he might, but yes, finally it's over. But also go into why it sucks that it is over now, because yes, I'll just get into it. But yeah, let's keep this show going. On Kyle Kuzma's injury, so it looks like the Lakers forward is going to be out a little bit longer than expected, which sucks more is that it's out indefinitely, so they obviously don't know when he could come back, which sucks even more because they did an article about players like him and Jason Tatum, an ex-Duke player who plays with Boston now, seeing which one of them is going to be able to take a leap this year going into their third year. And yeah, Kuzma was primed to do it because he's around a lot better players this year. But it just sucks that he's not going to be able to really have the chance to do it, or at least put up certain numbers like how some of those other guys will be able to because of his injury. But they're saying he could return some point in October, and that's just right before the season. But maybe just the first couple games or so, he's probably not going to play automatically. But hopefully he could come back pretty soon. That's what we're all hoping for. And they're saying the Ducks still want to contend for playoff, spot, and still think that they could build on the fly as far as like making trades and all this other stuff. I hope that's what they're talking about instead of just hoping that their draft picks stick, because a lot of their draft picks are very young. and they might be talented, but they're definitely not ready to play as of this second, especially because of where they're picked. They're not picking like top overall rated players. So yeah, just hoping for the best. I hope there's more trades, and I think they tried to make a pretty nice trade for a defensive guy, but because he had an option to choose if he wanted to accept the trade or not, he did not. So I guess that's all you have to hear about how the Ducks are right now. But yes, Chargers news, they have Melvin Gordon, because of his holdout of a few games and training camp and everything, it's gonna come out to like a little over $2 million of what he missed, which probably isn't a lot to some people, but that's just because of his rookie deal. If he was on like a bigger contract, which is what he's hoping for, he'd be missing even more money. But he kind of thought he could get a deal done still, but a lot of the news coming is that yes, he will come back and start playing sooner than he anticipated to still be available free agent for next season, but he is not gonna most likely return to the Chargers, which sucks. But if that's the case, I think he's probably trying to come back sooner just so he can get some more film tape and see how he's doing, so the whole league knows how he is right now and could probably trade for him before the trade deadline coming up in another month and a half or so. So that's what I think is happening. Hopefully that they can still get something for him, because it looks like as of right now, since they can't strike a deal, that he's not going to come back. So definitely they got to make the trade at some point. But Justin Jackson is also in a walking boot, another running back for the Chargers, which isn't good, but they do have a guy named Troymaine Pope out there who could be a third string guy, especially if Gordon is not going to play. I think there's Detrez Newsome is on the practice squad, another running back who's capable enough. And they're only playing Miami, but of course it would be the Chargers' crappy season if they lose to a team like Miami, who is the worst team in the NFL right now. That's all I gotta say about that. But Keenan Allen right now is actually leading the league in receiving yards, which is cool, but Chargers are still 1-2, so obviously it doesn't matter the amount of yards you get and how good your stats are. You still gotta put wins and touchdowns on the board as well. So I'm just hoping that they kind of move on from Philip Rivers, as I've always been saying. But yeah, talking about their last game, they lost by 7 points to Houston on Sunday. Just the same type of things that happened a couple years ago, where they weren't able to close out these pretty close games. They were able to do it against the Colts in the first game because the Colts are still a pretty young team, but Houston's been there for quite a bit and been in the playoffs in the most recent years, so I wasn't surprised that they won, but I am not surprised either that the Chargers are failing to get these close wins. And it was weird that that betting place had them still like the 4th or 5th best team to win a Super Bowl from the AFC side, which is insane to me, even though they have a 1-2 record so far. I'm assuming they just think they're going to get an automatic win and be 2-2 after this weekend. I doubt it, but yeah, that's at least it for Chargers news right now, and yeah, we'll just have to wait and see like always.
The true freshman here. Another fake and another throw. Fake looking end zone. It is Tons for a touchdown. Coverage on the 3 best receivers in this conference. That's a one-on-one contested ball. If you
did shine for USC coming in after like the first couple plays because Keaton Slovis went out with an undisclosed head injury after being tackled, the freshman quarterback. So luckily the one veteran that decided to stay as a third string was able to go in there, throw a few touchdowns as you guys saw, make a couple great plays, and yeah, just really happy for him. And he was so close to transferring to Illinois or maybe some other type of school in the summer, but luckily he wanted to come back and play at least this season for his team, especially the ones that he's grown up with the past couple years. Very glad he did. That W ended up getting USC back into the AP poll at number 21. It's pretty surprising because I thought a narrow defeat to BYU wouldn't push them back as far as most people thought, but I am kind of surprised that they jumped all the way up higher to 21 than what they were the week when they played BYU. But yeah, I'll get into the reasons why something later. But yes, we had that news, and then Devin Williams, the wide receiver, really talented guy coming in, who I mentioned I think in the last video that he was transferring, but he did finally pick his school, and it is another Pac-12 school in Oregon State. Pretty sure he just wanted to go to a place where he could actually get some playing time no matter what, because he's going to be most likely the best player there, the most talented player there at that position. So good luck to him. Hopefully he doesn't hurt us too bad while he's up there, but we'll see how his career ends up going after this. Then also Drake Jackson, the freshman defensive end from Centennial, which is pretty close to where I live. It was one of the big guys that I wanted USC to get this year, even though he was at times ranked a 3-star and a 4-star. I just thought there was something special about him, not because he lived around me, but I just saw something in the tape, and luckily he's been starting as a true freshman on defense for USC, which has been tough for any freshman to do, but he's also leading the whole entire nation as a freshman, for the freshman of all college football, in tackles for loss and doing pretty well in sacks as well. So hopefully continued success for him in his career. Probably with how good he is, he's only going to stay 3 years, but heck, let's enjoy it while it lasts, and hopefully we get another person from Corona into the NFL. That'd be pretty cool. Then the whole Reggie Bush thing, they're talking about how Chris Webber, infamously for Michigan, obviously accepted money, and he only got like a 10-year ban from the University of Michigan for personal reasons. He never returned even after that ban, but I don't know why the NCAA has such a stronghold for not letting Reggie Bush be a part of USC. It's pretty ridiculous because it's not like he himself accepted the money. It was someone in his family, unlike the Chris Webber situation, yet that had an expiration date. This, according to the NCAA, doesn't have one where Reggie Bush cannot be associated with USC. It's very troubling, very sad to see. It's ridiculous, like I said, and we'll just have to move on from that, I guess. And hopefully USC can retire his number at some point in the near future. Then ex-USC quarterback Cody Kessler played with the Browns, Eagles, and a couple other teams like Jacksonville. He's going to be a third-string quarterback, I believe, for the Patriots. So, of course, Bill Belichick keeping one of my talented USC guys away from me. That's what he always does, or some other guys always try to do that, keep those guys away from the Chargers. I don't get it. I don't understand it, but good luck to him. Maybe he could get a Super Bowl ring or AFC Championship ring as long as he's on the team. That would be pretty cool for him. And because of that big upset, Clay Helton was named on some type of person's coach of the week for getting that upset win over Utah. It's pretty cool, but like some other reporter had made a comment on that story saying that he's a guy who can beat a top team like a Utah at home, but going on the road playing against a BYU team who isn't as good or superior as USC, and their athletes will lose to them in overtime. It's just tough how up and down his career has been at USC. He's never really been as consistent, and a lot of times they always said it's just because of Sam Darnold, why his record was even as good as it was in the beginning. But yeah, we'll see how the rest of this season goes and his future with USC, which doesn't look to be too consistent because a lot of people are saying Urban Meyer might take that job. I hope that he doesn't, but I don't know. We'll see. Then also there was a weird story on the Dan Patrick show that Tua Tagovailoa was being interviewed, who's the star quarterback for Alabama right now, but at one point was maybe considering USC even before he committed to Alabama, but once he got there and realized he wasn't getting much playing time in his first year, he was looking to transfer to USC, which would have been pretty cool. But of course, Nick Saban being Nick Saban, that year he had both him and Jalen Hurts play like half and half basically that whole entire year until going officially with Tua, which was crazy, but that's just how you gotta soften the egos of these young players now. You gotta let them play right away because they think they're the best and more talented. And yes, some of these quarterbacks are pretty talented already coming out of high school, but sometimes you just gotta wait and let the other older guys do what they gotta do first. And yes, sadly, Talanoa Hufanga and I believe Elijah Griffin are both out on the defense for USC against Washington. It's gonna suck, but hopefully some guys like Chase Williams and Greg Johnson could step in for them. And then also we heard that quarterback Keaton Slovis is gonna be out still with that concussion protocol, so Matt Fink will get the start again. There isn't much depth behind him. It's a walk-on, so a guy not even on a scholarship will be backing him up. But yes, hopefully they can still get out healthy. Whether it's a win or not, I don't really care, but healthy is what I care about. And yes, to finish this video off real quick, some Tom DeLonge news, of course. Got to give credit where credit's due, because once the Navy, I believe it was last week or maybe sometime this week, confirmed that the 3 videos that have been circulating around a bunch of news sites and newspaper articles and everything like that, which originated from To The Stars Academy, which is Tom DeLonge's company that he owns, that yes, there are 100% real, the videos, and even though they don't call it exactly UFO, they call it some type of other thing which is close to UFO, but it's obvious that they have been around for quite a bit. Even though it's been a few instances, it still has happened, especially as recent as 2015 and 2004, which 2 of the 3 videos were from. And yeah, of course, there was also an announcement from Tom DeLonge that there is going to be a 2nd season of his History Channel show Unidentified, which I'm pretty sure is going to get way more deep into this whole stuff and maybe release more content that has never been released to the world. So hopefully we can get to see that at some point next year. And yeah, even the New York Times did an article about him and what he's done and everything he's created to bring the UFO community or the existence of them to light to everybody. And yeah, it's pretty awesome. At least he got into something as big as New York Times, so obviously you know that it's true, people, instead of just always making fun of him or saying that it's BS. And even I sometimes didn't really believe everything he said, but as long as there's full video proof and certain things like that, then yeah, I'm fine with it and I can believe it. So I'm at least on the ride of this UFO stuff for now. Let's see what else they can come up with. Then also comments from Blink-182 members now and that have been for a while, Mark Hoppus, the bassist, and Travis Barker, saying that Blink-182 has not been the same since Tom DeLonge has left, and they really miss the way it was, obviously, and they think he would make it better. And it's just obvious that they aren't making the same type of music as they have been. Their most recent record that they came out, called 9, came out like a week or so ago, and to me it's actually not that bad compared to the first record with this new guy Matt Skiba, which was okay, that first record, but this one I think is even better in my opinion, a lot more consistently good songs on it, and you know, they kind of allow this new guy to do his more of his own thing, which is always more important. That's why Blink-182 works, is three guys doing their own thing and coming together to make something great. But that first record was kind of what the new guys seemed, it was more of the older guys trying to do whatever they wanted and not really giving him any input, but kind of glad they did. And honestly, don't have any bad feelings towards Matt Skiba unless he sings certain songs that Tom DeLonge used to sing and doesn't sing them as well or play them as well either. That's why I think this is not a situation like a Van Halen or a David Lee Roth and Sammy Hagar thing, where they try to go on tour one time and, you know, the first hour is one guy and the second hour is the other guy. I mean, I think at some point when Tom DeLonge isn't busy with all this movies, TV shows, and UFO crap, government stuff, then he could return to Blink-182. I think they would allow him to come back. And, you know, I say still keep four guys together. I mean, have like an hour and a half show, but, you know, most of the songs are Tom DeLonge songs, obviously, because that's how most of the album and category is right now, but still have, you know, Matt Skiba there to play his songs that he helped write while being a part of Blink-182 as well, playing, and Tom DeLonge could take a quick song or two break, you know. That's just how it is, and there's no ill will, I think, towards anybody as of right now, so I think that could be a perfect situation for them. Like I said, it's just going to be based on how less busy Tom DeLonge wants to make his other type of industry life, and that's what we're just gonna have to wait and see if that's what he really wants to do, is still make music with them in Blink-182. But thanks for watching, people. Like and subscribe, comment down below, let me know what y'all think. Have a great rest of your day.